Chapter 2. School had been out less than a week. Heather should have started feeling that wonderful sense of relaxation that comes from getting used to the idea that there isn't any homework due. Instead, a growing sense of foreboding plagued her. She had been dreaming again, those strange dreams which she couldn't quite remember when she awoke at odd hours of the night, left her skin damp with sweat. Neither Mark nor Jennifer had mentioned nightmares, leaving Heather the only one of the three who wasn't sleeping peacefully and looking rested. That she couldn't remember the dreams was strange in itself. After all, she remembered everything else. All three of them could play back anything they saw, the images as clear on the theater screens of their minds as if they were seeing it anew. But not these dreams. She actually dreaded going to sleep for fear of what the dreams contained, although that made even less sense. What sleep she had been getting came toward dawn, marring her pattern of being an early riser. This morning, a bright sliver of sunlight made its way through the branches of the tree outside her window and into her room. As the branches swayed in the gentle morning breeze, the annoying sunbeam repeatedly stabbed at her eyes, like the glint from a cavalry trooper's signaling mirror in an old Western movie. Okay, I'm getting up. In addition to her not feeling rested, this morning her head hurt. Griping at sunbeams wouldn't help, but somehow it made her feel just a little bit better to vent her annoyance to the universe. Heather debated just throwing on her robe and going downstairs for a cup of hot tea, but a hot shower called to her. She breathed in the steam as she stood beneath the pulsing jet from the massage nozzle. The temperature set just cool enough to avoid raising blisters on her skin. She gave thanks for old houses built before flow restrictors reduced the available water pressure to an impotent trickle. It was one of the many things about her house that she loved. By the time she dressed and made her way downstairs to the kitchen, Heather felt almost human. The television news blared from the living room, indicating the location of her parents, but she bypassed it, blocking out the breathless voices of reporters in breaking story mode as she homed in on the bin with the tea bags. "Good morning, Mom, Dad," she called out over her shoulder as she slid the cup into the microwave to heat the water. The lack of response to her greeting struck her as curious. Perhaps her parents had gone outside without bothering to turn off the TV. She'd switch it off and join them as soon as her tea was ready. Thinking of the TV focused her attention in that direction, finally allowing the words of the news report to filter into her consciousness. At his home just outside of Fort Meade, Maryland, this morning, in what police are calling a tragic case of murder-suicide, the FBI discovered the bodies of NSA Director Jonathan Riles and Senior NSA computer scientist Dr. David Kurtz at the Riles residence this morning. Although the investigation is ongoing, high-level sources inside the administration tell CNN that FBI agents were in the process of executing a search of the Riles home pursuant to a search warrant when they discovered the two bodies in Admiral Riles' private office. We have also received word that Admiral Riles may have been despondent over an FBI investigation into illegal activities being conducted by the NSA, activities that Riles had authorized without the knowledge or approval of the President. Hold on. We are just getting word that the Vice President, a longtime friend and college roommate of Admiral Riles at the Naval Academy, is about to issue a short statement. We go now to the Vice President. Heather didn't remember leaving the kitchen and making her way into the living room, but she now found herself standing behind the couch where her mom and dad sat riveted to the television screen. Vice President Gordon stared somberly into the television camera from behind his desk at the White House. "My fellow Americans, it is with the deepest sadness that I address you this morning. I have taken this unusual step because I cannot bear the thought of how my good friend may be portrayed in coming days. With that in mind, I think it is important to let you, the American people, know a little of what I know about the man and the situation that led to this tragic outcome. I have known Jonathan Riles since we were roommates together at Annapolis. I played alongside him on the Navy football team. I studied at a desk across the room from him as he qualified for selection as a Rhodes Scholar, and I served with